Shut up and sit down.
Hello gang, Colin here, Festa 67's workshop, and we are building a Takom FV432 Mark II with interior. Oh, yeah, and have you look at that. I'm going to be doing it in the Berlin camo. Now this kit was sent to me kindly by Vincent over in Belgium, aka Mr. Loft's model making, to go with a Berlin camo Conqueror tank that I did a few years back. So many thanks to our friend Vincent for sending me this, mate. Muchly appreciated. It's taken me a while to get round to building it, mate, so apologies, but we'll make a start. And it's just a matter of following the instructions, folks. It really is that simple. If you haven't built one of these before, the instructions pretty much explain themselves. You're just cutting the bits off the spruce and gluing them together. So I'm going to be doing the interior shell of the hull. So I'm going to start with doing the walls with the seats and things like that. And then we'll have the controls, the radios and batteries and things like that, and other detritus to go into the driver's area. So that's what we're going to be doing on this little bad boy. So I'll just carry on cutting some of this off. I'll come in and out of shot a bit. I will explain the reasons why. I'm a man of a certain age and my eyesight ain't great, and to me left I have a large magnifier. So if I come across really tiny bits, I tend to just quickly put it in front of the magnifier so that I can see what I'm doing. So I do apologise in advance if I do go off camera. It's not deliberate. It's just I need to see what I'm doing. So rather than have the magnifier in front of the camera and it be uber blurry, I tend to just move to my left and see what I'm doing. It can frustrate folks, I know, but it's just how I build, I'm afraid. So we cut some bits and bobs off and glue them together. Let's have a little looky-loo at where that's going to go. And it's going to sit just about there, like so. See, so we'll be able to glue that bad boy in. And start this ball rolling. Now, I've flicked through, I've flicked through the instructions and had a quick look in advance, and I must admit it's really detailed. So yeah, I'm going to try and do me friend Vincent justice on this, because he is an armour buff, him and Sarge, and if anyone's going to tell me what I've done wrong, it's going to be them two. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous, yeah, but in a nice way. They'll sort of, you should have done this, you should have done that. But yeah, I'm doing what I can with the tools I've got. I was going to go for metal tracks, but finances have restricted me at the moment, so I'm just going to go with the kit tracks, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just metal tracks can add a bit of weight to the tank and a bit more definition, but on this build I'm just going to go with out the box. So we'll just push these in, and these are the walls that the seat's attached to in the back as well, that will go behind this. Just glue that in, put the divider in, like so. But I must admit, it's a really nice crisp moulding on this. Pleasantly surprised at how well that they've made this mould. So if you haven't done a Takom kit before, folks, I would thoroughly recommend next time you're in your model shop, if they've got one and it's open, have yourself a little looky-loo in there, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how much detail you get, how much interior you get, and yeah, you do get your money's worth. So well worth looking at. And this, when I've finished, it's going to be displayed with the door open at the back, and there's going to be a very young soldier, a young soldier called Michael Mountain, who drove one of these, and he's going to be leant against the door having a fag. Yeah, So, yeah, he used to drive one of these, and there is an instance where he done a stoppie in a 432 and managed to get it right up onto the drive wheel. So, yeah, I can imagine his instructor was impressed. The thought of a very young Mike Mountain careering round East and West Germany in a 432. Yeah, don't bear thinking about, does it? So let's dab a bit of extra thin on that. Like I say, I'm just off the corner there under me magnifier, folks, so I do apologise. But it's just so that I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just gluing on the little bits and bobs. You can see the seats there. They're going on the walls. And then we'll build the battery packs and gubbins to go in the front now. Let's take my clip off so I can see what I'm doing. Let's have a quick check on that. Yeah, seems to all be there. So I'll just put a dab of glue on and put this last bench on there. There's two tiny little pegs that locate into the squares on these. Just like that. And you just drop the seat in there. And I'll let it sit up like that for a minute just so that it bites. I'll just quickly look in me lens just to make sure it's in the appropriate holes. Because we don't want it in the wrong hole, do we? Because, yeah, it's not going to be good, is it? So, yeah, it's in there. I'll give it a little nudge and then we'll sling it. Not literally, but we'll sling it out of the way. Alright, let's have a look, see what else we can put on this bad boy. We've got the controls and a set of seats in. At the back there you can see the tub. So we'll do the other side, I think. And these first couple of episodes, it's literally just going to be me building the tank. So I'm going to be doing a lot of chop shots just to sort of speed the process up. It really is straightforward in the instructions, and because of that I'm just editing it in a slightly different way. Let's put a little dab of extra thin in there, and then we'll drop the radios and everything in their home up there. It will locate, Cole. Go on, you can do this. There you go. Yeah. I feel Sarge looking over his glasses at me now going, really? Just chop that off of there. We can start then building the driver's area. It'll be the seat and the seat frame and throttle pedals and all of that. So some quite tiny bits in this as well, peeps. So if you're like me and you pick things up and they have an habit of pinging off the tweezers, you might want to get yourself an apron or something like that. And it's what I've started doing now. I tuck it underneath the bench. So if I do drop anything, it just collects in there and it saves me a lot of hassle. Saves me having to get me grabber out and trying to find stuff that the carpet monster's eaten. So yeah, I'm lording aprons now, peeps. Yeah. Get yourself one, you know you want to. Let's start building up the interior with the accelerator brake. Get the seat in. You've got to have somewhere to sit, ain't you? And it's actually surprised me because having looked through these instructions, when I see these personnel carriers doing the rounds, you forget or you don't realise how tiny areas inside that the troops and the driver actually had to sit in, because obviously you've got the engine right next to him and there's only a tiny little barrier between him and it. And you sort of think, oh yeah, there's a load of room in there, but actually there ain't. It's pretty tight in there, so take me hat off to a thought of spending all your time sat in that little cubbyhole. Yeah, it's a little bit claustrophobic, isn't it? And you'll notice this as you're building it up. You'll be sitting there going, oh yeah, I'm glad I wasn't sat in it. So we'll put the driver's barrier up, or the walls, the internal components, and start assembling them. And then you've got all your little bits and bobs like your fire extinguishers and all that sort of detritus in there. Those of you that drove these will know what I mean. I never drove one, so I don't know what all the individual components are, but there's certainly a lot of them. Must have been fun driving one of these, though. Well, sun's out. Sorry for the brightness there, folks. Let's just drop that in there. Like so. Yep. And then we got the accelerator and the brake. I think that's what they are. Yeah, because the steering's the two levers, isn't it? If I remember rightly. Answers on a postcard if Festa's wrong. Please feel free to correct me below, whilst leaving a thumbs up and a like and subscribe. Have I dropped it? No. Let's get the old nippers and have a looky look. There it is. I'm trying to figure out the easiest way. I might put the pedals on first before I thing it. But yeah, I had a grey stain on my cutting mat and a grey part on the grey stain. So yeah, we found it in the end. There it is. See what I mean? Stuff pings off. There you go. Start getting that in there now. Little dab of extra thin. And then we'll grab that little piece there. Drop that in there. He says, might need the tweezers. There you go. The tweezers and the magnifier had to come out for that one, folks. So, yeah. As you can see, they are tiny bits. So, I'll keep flicking that bit out the way as well. It's like, yeah, you will go there. Tiny, tiny little pedal that sits on the tube there, and it probably would pay you to build them on the tube first, then put the tube in. But yeah, let's put this in like that. Get that joint together. Now, you notice just by my left hand there's a brown part there. And that comes in really handy in a while, because that's the little track jig that's in the box when you buy it. And I must admit, it comes in really, really useful. I've had a little play and to see how it functions, and I must admit it's going to save me a lot of hassle when I assemble the tracks. So I'm actually looking forward to doing kit tracks on it. It may sound strange. Yes, I need to get out more. But yeah, it certainly looks easy enough to use. So we got the chair there with the sides and the base of the seat on. So we can put the seat back on that, I think, and start having somewhere where the driver can sit down. So we'll put that on, and a lot of these bits I'm letting dry in between video cuts, because it is quite flimsy and delicate, and I've got hands like two shovels, so I'd have been a good goalkeeper. So yeah, in between cuts the pieces have actually been left to dry for about an hour. So yeah, Let's have a looky-loo, see what we got there. Put the seat on. Like so. Just like that. There you go. Looking a bit more realistic. Let's put a little dab of extra fin in there just to get them to stick. And it's the detail on this. This is what has excited me about this build, is all the little bits of hyper detail that are in this model. And if you really are an armour buff that's driven one of these and are looking to do a particular 432, maybe the one that you served in, you're going to be in for a treat because the detail's phenomenal. And then you can add your own little personal touches to it. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get some more bits and bobs in. Start getting the dividing wall between the driver and the crew compartment in. It's going together quite quickly, actually. It's surprising. And a lot of that is down to the instructions. I must admit, they really are easy to follow. So let's have a look, see how that dry fits. There you go. So we'll hold that in place with my thumb, and I'll just put a few dabs of extra fin in and around to start attaching it in place. Just like that. Painting this is going to be interesting because obviously there's going to be builders out there that really go for the hyper detail, and they'll paint the chair separately before they put it in and all of that lot. Whereas, because I know where I'm going to be displaying it, the likelihood of someone looking inside and going right the way down to the front and going, you've missed the black off the top of one of them levers, yeah, it's going to be remote. So it'll be painted as an assembly, and then I shall go in and just detail bits that I know you can see through the door. And that'll be it with this one. Whereas there are going to be guys out there that will really want to do every nut bolt washer with the correct scratches and all of that lot. It's, yeah, that's their thing. Good luck to them. But I'm just doing a bog standard basic build that the average Joe soap that's getting into the hobby can do. Follow along with and go, yeah, I've built that. And then as they own their skills, they can go on and add to it. But I'm going to have a trio of tanks in this to display. I've got a cunning little plan about an addition to it, and that will be revealed once this build is aired. And then I'll add the third and final Berlin camo tank to the set and do the dio. So keep an eye out, folks, for that one coming up. It's not too far away. It's going to happen hopefully in 2021. So let's put that assembly at the back there, let it all dry, and I think we'll leave it there for today. So a big thanks for watching. Thanks to all my YouTube channel members and patrons, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye bye for now.